The Prince's Trust, founded by King Charles IIO in 1976 using his Navy severance pay, has been renamed the King's Trust. This was announced by Buckingham Palace this week, just ahead of the King's 75th birthday. The name change is part of a rebranding of the King's long-standing charitable organizations, including the Prince's Foundation and the Prince of Wales's Charitable Fund, which have been renamed the King's Foundation and the King Charles IIO Charitable Fund. The Prince's Trust has helped over 1 million disadvantaged young people in the UK get jobs, education, and training since it was established. Famous beneficiaries include actor Idris Elba. King Charles had previously expressed hope that his sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, would one day take over the Prince's Trust. However, the name change signals that succession plan is now unlikely. Prince William, as the new Prince of Wales, is focused on establishing his own charitable priorities, like homelessness, mental health, and the environment. On a recent trip to Singapore, William said he wants to go a step further than his family in creating meaningful change through his charitable work, rather than just raising awareness. Prince Harry, living in California after stepping back as a working royal, is estranged from the family and not expected to take on a major royal role in future. The rebranding helps distinguish between King Charles' organizations and Prince William's. Up until recently, Prince's Trust officials insisted the name would remain unchanged after Charles became king. The chairman wrote to a newspaper that there were no plans for a name change after Queen Elizabeth II's death. But the palace has now formally announced the rebranding. King Charles is renowned for his pioneering work through the Prince's Trust and his advocacy on environmental issues. The name change eliminates potential confusion between his charitable work and Prince William's. It reinforces their differing approaches, with William focused on driving institutional change in his priority areas. Though taking on fewer patronages, William and Kate aim to provide leadership and catalyze action on the causes they have embraced. William wants to chart his own course, not just follow in his father's footsteps. But both King Charles and Prince William exemplify how the royal family's combining power and profile can benefit charitable causes. The royal website states that King Charles' charitable organizations raise over £100 million annually for good causes. The renaming of the Prince's Trust and his other foundations cements Charles' charitable legacy as king, while opening space for William to make his own mark through direct involvement in the issues closest to him. King Charles II has long been known for his extensive charitable work and advocacy for various causes, both in the UK and internationally. Now that he has ascended to the throne, his team has announced that the charities he founded will be rebranded to reflect his new status as monarch. The Prince's Trust, which was established by Charles in 1976, when he was still the Prince of Wales, will be renamed the King's Trust. Similarly, the Prince's Foundation will become the King's Foundation, and the Prince's Charities Group will be known as the King's Charities Group. These name changes are intended to prevent any confusion between Charles' charities and those of his son Prince William, now that William has taken on the Prince of Wales title. The rebranding also aligns with Charles' stated intention in his accession speech, to ensure the work of his charities would continue in trusted hands. While the decision was ultimately made by the charity's directors and trustees, sources say Charles was consulted and approved of the changes. One insider described months of careful polling, consultation, and risk assessment that went into the rebranding. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliam said the name change reflects Charles' wish for the organizations to remain firmly under his wing, despite the heavy demands of his new role. Fitzwilliams praised Charles' splendid work through his charitable trust and environmental campaigns. Over the 40-plus years of his charitable work, Charles has established more than 20 charities and initiatives. His organizations collectively raise over £100 million annually for various causes, an impressive achievement according to Fitzwilliams. However, the structures of Charles' charities are admittedly complex. They have sometimes attracted negative publicity not directly related to their charitable work. For example, the Prince's Charitable Fund was scrutinized for how it accepted donations. The Prince's Foundation faced allegations of cash for honors, involving Charles' former aide Michael Fawcett. By keeping the charities under his name as king, Charles continues his personal association despite the past controversies. Fitzwilliam said it was unfortunate there did not seem to be a concise, accessible summary of Charles' wide-ranging charitable accomplishments. He said the relevant Wikipedia page was inconsistent and needed updating. While Charles is passing on the Prince of Wales title, his son William has made clear he plans to blaze his own trail with his charitable work. William and Kate intend to take on fewer patronages, but engage more deeply. Still, commentators note Charles and William both exemplify how the royal family's prominence can uniquely benefit charitable causes. In his speech upon becoming king, Charles spoke of his hope his sons would someday take over his trust. While Harry will evidently not fill that role, William's own approach continues the royal family's strong charitable legacy. Charles' vast body of charitable work represents an extraordinary achievement that deserves recognition, according to Fitzwilliams. Condensing the efforts of his 20-plus charities over 40-plus years into a simple, accessible summary could better inform the public of the real benefits provided. The newly rebranded King's Trust, King's Foundation, and King's Charities Group will carry Charles' work forward. Though complex at times, these organizations have funded invaluable programs in the UK and worldwide. Charles has devoted much of his life to philanthropy. As king, Charles will undoubtedly continue championing charitable causes close to his heart. His trusted charities will maintain operations through the dedicated teams Charles has assembled. The king's dedication to service continues to define his reign. King Charles II, who recently ascended to the throne upon the passing of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, has initiated the process of renaming several of his charitable organizations and foundations now that he is monarch. One of the most well-known charities that will be undergoing a name change is the Prince's Trust, which was founded by Charles back in 1976 and has helped over 1 million disadvantaged youths in the UK and around the world. The Prince's Trust will now be called the King's Trust, reflecting Charles' continued commitment to the organization he started over 45 years ago. The name change enables the charity to keep its connection to its original founder, even as he has become king. The Prince's Trust has truly become one of the leading youth charities in the UK and beyond. It has assisted over 1.2 million young people total since it began operations. The charity helps youth who are facing challenging life circumstances to gain employment, start their own businesses, or receive education and training. Some of the organization's celebrity ambassadors who promote its work are singer Cheryl, former Spice Girl Jerry Horner, and television presenters Ant and December. These famous supporters help bring attention to the impact the trust makes on young people who are striving to overcome adversity. A spokesperson for the Prince's Trust made a public statement announcing the impending name change to the King's Trust. They explained that the new name will retain the close association to the charity's founder, King Charles II, thereby reflecting his ongoing dedication to their work, which spans back to the very beginning in 1976. During the transitional period over the next few months, when the name change is being implemented, the Trust reassured that it will continue offering its full support programs to help young people and communities in need to access employment, education, and training throughout the UK and globally. In addition to its programs within the UK, the Prince's Trust has delivered initiatives outside the UK since 2015. It operates globally across continents like Asia, Africa, the Caribbean, Europe, and the Middle East through its division called Prince's Trust International. Furthermore, the charity has established branches in countries including Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the United States. So the rebranding to the King's Trust will be reflected in all of its international offices and partners as well. The renaming also comes at an opportune juncture, providing a fresh start for the former Prince's Foundation, which had been embroiled in some controversy recently over cash for honours allegations. Earlier this year, the London Metropolitan Police had launched an investigation following newspaper reports that Michael Fawcett, who was CEO of the Prince's Foundation and a close confidant of King Charles II, had apparently offered to assist a wealthy Saudi businessman donor in securing British citizenship and a knighthood. However, after looking into the claims, the police announced in August that they would be taking no additional action, closing the case. The Prince's Foundation, which promotes built heritage, environment, culture, and educational initiatives, was established back in 2018 when Charles turned 70 years old. It was formed through a reorganization of 21 of Charles' disparate charities under one umbrella. Some of its recent charitable activities include a winter warmers program at Charles Highgrove Estate, offering free hot drinks, soup, and crafts to help combat loneliness and financial difficulties. The foundation also collaborated on a high-end sustainable fashion line with luxury retailer Yeux Net-a-Porter through its Modern Artisan project. This initiative provides training in textile design and garment-making skills to students in the UK and Italy. The attempted name change to the King's Foundation hit an unexpected roadblock when it was discovered another long-standing charity already held the name. The other organization, called the King's Foundation, is a Sheffield-based charity formed in 1991, originally operating out of the city's King's Centre Church. It is better known as the King's Active Foundation, but officially registered under the legal name the King's Foundation, having acquired the copyright to the name in 2019. This charity recently received funding from the Male Force charity to offer subsidized activity camps and food vouchers for 900 Ukrainian refugee children who arrived in the UK. Apparently, no financial compensation was offered by King Charles' organization to convince the original King's Foundation to hand over the name. But sources close to the negotiations indicated the Sheffield-based charity was happy to oblige and assist the royal charity in their rebranding efforts. The name SAFU is proving somewhat embarrassing and awkward nonetheless, but it seems to be merely a small hiccup in the major revitalization plans underway for the former Prince's Foundation. There is renewed optimism among the charity's fundraisers now that the London police have dropped their investigation. Part of the foundation's reorganization aims to attract celebrity endorsements and ambassadors. It has been reported that David and Victoria Beckham were invited to visit and see firsthand some of the charitable work carried out by King Charles' organization. It is hoped the famous couple might even come on board in official ambassador roles. Actress Sienna Miller is also said to be considering lending her celebrity status to the charity. She previously had a private dinner with King Charles to discuss potentially affiliating with the foundation in an ambassador capacity. Despite the ongoing investigation by the Scottish charity regulator into past foreign donations, there is a sense of renewed energy to turn around the reputation and effectiveness of the charity under its new name. A source close to the rebranding initiative stated that the Prince's Foundation is feeling emboldened now that the police inquiry was discontinued. However, they admitted the name change debacle has proven somewhat embarrassing and awkward given another charity already held the desired name. But the organization seems committed to moving forward with its revitalization plans and hoped for celebrity affiliations. In addition to the Prince's Trust becoming the King's Trust, another of King Charles' philanthropic organizations will also be renamed. The King Charles Iowa Charitable Fund was originally founded in 1979. It awards grants to various nonprofit causes and organizations within Charles' core interest areas of heritage, conservation, education, health, social inclusion, environment, and the countryside. Over its nearly 50-year history, it has granted more than £70 million. The charity's primary source of income is from the Waitrose Duchy organic product line that Charles established back in 1992. With Charles now king, the King Charles IOI Charitable Fund will likely adopt a new moniker more befitting its founder's new title as monarch. However, details on the new name have not yet been made public. The extensive rebranding of King Charles IOI's charities and foundations is seen as an opportunity to reinvigorate the public's awareness and interest in these philanthropic organizations now that Charles has ascended the throne. By maintaining their close association with the king through name changes reflecting his ongoing patronage, the charities aim to highlight Charles' lifelong commitment to social causes like assisting disadvantaged youth, heritage preservation, organic farming, and environmentalism. The naming challenges encountered along the way are merely minor hurdles as the organizations move toward renewed vitality and purpose in alignment with Charles' new role as Britain's monarch. While staying true to their founder's original vision, The rebranding also signifies a new era for some of King Charles II's most prominent charitable works. Dear friend, if you like everything new about the royal family and don't want to miss all the novelties, subscribe to our channel and like it. By doing so, you take part in our development. We work for you.